specificity, and it has a new one, which is no multicollinearity. So the multiple linear regression also assumes no multicollinearity. What does this mean? This means that there can't be too high of a linear relation between the predictor variables, so between the x's. This was not a problem before because we only had one x, but now that we have more x's, they cannot be too highly related. And if this was not the case, if they were more related, it would make it harder to determine how much each predictor contributes to the model, because predictors become very similar, so you don't know exactly which one is helping the prediction at all, which would make the standard error of the B's increase a lot, and the explained variance of the model would decrease. And also, if two x's are very related, they're essentially the same thing, then why would you include both of them in your model? You want things to be different. If you're basically, it would be like including twice the same variable. Now, how do we check for this assumption? We could be looking at the correlations between the variables. So let's say in the question in the exam they tell you this is the correlation matrix between the different x values, the x variables, and then you start observing correlations of 0.8 or 0.9 or things like that. Then these variables are too highly correlated, and then you would already say that if you perform a regression model using these variables, multicollinearity is going to be a problem. But in SPSS, VIF and the tolerance values are the ones we use. The max VIF for a variable is 10, so the VIF should be smaller than 10, and then overall the mean of the VIFs shouldn't be substantially higher than 1. But you're mostly going to find these VIFs being smaller than 10. If you find all the VIFs to be 9 or something like that, or I don't know, 7, then you would say that all of the variables, like this set of variables as a whole, is problematic. If the mean is substantially higher than 1. Again, substantially, what is substantially? There is no threshold, so that's why when there's no threshold, it's not like they're not telling you the threshold, it's like there really isn't one in the research world. So they will probably mostly ask you about the VIF. But let's say, I don't know, if there was all of the VIFs were 5 already, I would already be cautious. And then
isn't this very vague again?
Yeah.
Because like they should be under 10, but like 5 is under 10, but why should I be worried then? Like
No. Max, when this part refers to individual variables, and this is very straightforward. If an individual variable has a 9.99 VIF, it's fine. If it has 10 as a VIF, it's problematic. This is very straightforward. This is for individual variables. Then this part here is for the whole set of x variables. And it says that the mean of the VIFs for each of the x variables shouldn't be bigger than 1.
Oh, okay, I see.
This is the vague part. So for individual variables, there's no vagueness at all. When you're talking about the whole set, which you're also looking at every time you look at the multicollinearity, then there's some vagueness, which is what's substantially bigger than 1. But well, that's if it's vague, they will make sure to make it clear in some way. Like maybe at 10, all of them are, I don't know, 9, 7, things like that are big enough. But I presume they will ask you about this. And then tolerance again should be bigger than 0.2. So each of the variables has a VIF value and a tolerance value. This is kind of like when we were looking at outliers. And all of the variables should have a VIF smaller than 10 and a tolerance bigger than 0.2. let's check if you understood this. After running a multiple regression in SPSS, German observed the following output. What can we say about multicollinearity? He used three variables, three predictor variables: sport, age, and healthy diet. And here we have the collinearity statistics. It's not violated because VIFs are smaller than 10, indeed. Because the tolerance values are all bigger than 0.2 and the VIFs are smaller than 10. And as you can see, the overall average is not too different from 1, not like a 6 or something like that.